And later on, she got criticized by Stephen A. Smith. She got criticized, obviously, recently by Steve Stout. And now she's lashing out and she's given much more details than we ever knew. So maybe I should start with that because that's kind of the hot topic, ain't it? Uh, Nicki Minaj is lashing out against a few people. First of all, Desiree Perez. I'm gonna tell you why she's lashing out against Desiree Perez. I'll Google these people while I'm talking about them, that you guys could be in the loop. Desiree Perez is the CEO of Rock Nation. She's notoriously, associated or known for being a former informant that cooperated against a cartel. And apparently she was involved in either some drug smuggling. Basically, when she got caught, she told on the cartel. Okay. However, she's been a really good business partner for Jay-Z, clearly helping him make a lot of power moves, and eventually gave her the decision or the role of being the CEO of Rock Nation. Now, Nicki Minaj has a really deep entrenched beef with Rock Nation, not only because of their defense or their, supporting other women that she's always aligned against. She feels like Rock Nation's always doing underhanded things to try to hurt her career. Who's leading Rock Nation? Desiree Perez. So not only, and I'll explain the whole thing later. She don't like Jay-Z, but she don't like Desiree Perez neither, okay? So she goes in on Jay-Z, she goes in on Desiree Perez, and then she goes in on Steve Stout. Now, shout out to my man Steve Stout. If you don't know who Steve Stout is, currently he's the head guy, founder and CEO of United Masters, okay? A few years ago, it might be over 5, definitely over 5, maybe close to 10. Steve Stout. I'm not going to talk about his whole history in the music business, right? But I'll talk about just recently what he's popping for. Essentially, he started a company called Translation. So he started a company called Translation. Notoriously, the company Translation was invested in heavily. So Steve Stout, Translation. Google invested a lot of money into it. I believe like 72 million if I remember. Yeah, Google invest. Let me see if I can find that. Invest. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, $70 million came from Google. What that did was it powered Translation, which then launched what's called United Masters to compete to be what his goal is to a label on your cell phone. So essentially, obviously, if you guys know the longer history of Steve Stout, used to work in the music business. By the way, people like Steve Stout, people like Lyra Cohen, they saw the collapse or almost shrinking of or the downsizing of the music industry or the stagnation for a while. A lot of the smart guys went to tech or started to build tech companies that could be labels. United Masters is a tech company, but it's a label, quote unquote, in your pocket because they're just using tech to operate like a label. Lyra Cohen, who was running 300 Entertainment, he goes to Google or really YouTube, and he gives up. Well, not gives up, but he stops doing label stuff with 300. Remember, he was running around with Thug. He goes to deal with the tech company of YouTube, but he's still pulling the strings on algorithms and this and third that affect music. He's actually the head of music over there. So again, a lot of the smart guys who's been around in executive roles, for example, Steve Stout, for example, Lyra Cohen, they kind of still affected music, but they start going to tech route. That's important, and you'll see why in a few. Anyway, let's kind of give a little bit more context, right? Recently, in the last few weeks, Nicki Minaj spoke up about Lil Wayne being snubbed from the Super Bowl halftime show headliner gig, and she essentially blamed Jay-Z, saying that Jay-Z was not only 50 something but still in woman business, and clearly he's making a she was making a. I could actually read those tweets. Nicki Minaj tweets Lil Wayne. Yeah, she basically was, she essentially was saying, where's the tweets? She didn't say his name then, but she was basically saying, yo, you're in people's, like, you're 50 plus and you're in like woman business. Okay, not that. Where is it? These are, I gotta find the tweets. Here we go. Are the tweets still there? Yeah, she might have deleted it. I know somebody's gonna have it. Give me 1 second. And I know for some of y'all who probably like, we've seen the tweets already. I like to be thorough because I never know who's watching for the first time or who just missed that episode that we actually covered it on. Yeah. Okay. This was at, all of these were kind of like indirectly at, all of these were kind of indirectly at Jay-Z, right? Denying a young black man what he's rightfully put into the game for no other reason but your ego. That's aimed at Birdman. Your hatred for Birdman and no, it's not aimed at Birdman. It's aimed at Jay-Z. Your hatred for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you punishing Wayne, Lil Wayne, the GOAT. Okay. Then there was another one where it says, you're like in woman business or something like that. I mean, I forgot where is it at. And that was, I think, was kind of also like aiming at the whole Meg situation. Let me see if I can. Is it this? This is in Threads. Okay, I can't find it quickly, so not gonna drag it out. Where is it? Okay. This was at Jay-Z too. One nigga took a knee, the other nigga took a bag. He gonna get you N-words in line. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, essentially she was shooting at Jay-Z a lot. She never said his name during that rant. However, after that, Stephen A. Smith spoke out and criticized Nicki Minaj for attacking Jay-Z. Stephen A. Smith, Nicki Minaj, and some of what he said almost 9 days ago was this.
It's about my own individual emotion. I'm pretty pissed off. Jay-Z is my boy.
Sorry.
Make no mistake about it. That's my dog right there. If he were wrong, I wouldn't say much. If he's right, I'd have more to say. But under no circumstances am I going to be quiet when you talking about him like that, Nicki Minaj. What the hell was that? What's that about? Respectfully, that's some bullshit. It really, really is. That's just beyond the pale. Master P's open letter, no harm, no foul. Lil Wayne's your man. You're a New Orleans native. He's a...
Now, it's important to know, and again, I know, y'all hate when I cut it off, but I like to give context. Stephen A. Smith is just talking about Nicki shitting on Jay-Z indirectly, even though it was kind of obvious she was dissing Jay-Z. What Stephen A. Smith is lacking is that Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z's history actually go way back. Like, there's some history there, and Nicki has felt slighted by Jay-Z for a while. So Stephen A. Smith doesn't know that and just believes that Nicki's been being super hateful and ungrateful in a moment where hip-hop is getting a platform basically due to Jay-Z.
New Orleans native. I get that part. You think he should have been there? I happen to know he was on the list. I happen to know he was given consideration, but Kendrick Lamar is arguably the hottest thing out right now. Not Like Us, that single, man. I mean, everybody going off about that.
By the way, Lynn, thank you for being the first member of our King Akademiks channel. I appreciate you.
She was off the chain. We got to call it what it is. Now, it wasn't great for Drake, but Drake is still big time. He still got his followers. He still got people that love the hell out of him because he's phenomenal. He's fantastic. Ain't nobody here trying to throw no shade on Drake. But Kendrick Lamar right now is that dude. Right now, he's that dude. And why is that relevant? Because I want to put up this full screen for past performers.
Okay. So, and this is where, if you're Stephen A. Smith, with all due respect to Stephen A. Smith, when it comes to rap, he's out of his league if you're talking about whether me, Joe, or anybody else who really covers it all the time. Just like if we speak about sports, we're out of our league when it comes to his expertise, right? Because he's really tapped in. Again, he's isolating her comments to think that Nicki Minaj is only saying this because of Wayne in this moment. Nicki has felt this way about Jay-Z for a while. This was the icing on top of the cake for her to express the vitriol about Jay-Z. Also, that probably was one of the only days on social media that people were like, maybe Jay-Z is a hater. That's why she came out with it. Obviously, is she upset that Wayne didn't get the gig? Clearly, but that's not where the vitriol is coming from, right? Very important to note. I just want to say that, and I'll play this last piece where he's talking about her tweet, and then I'll keep the story going.
I respect you. I respect your work. I respect what you've accomplished. Who else you gonna get in the beef with? Little Kim, Mariah Carey, Cardi B, Gucci Mane. I'm just looking at all of this stuff. Taylor Swift.
So he calls out Nicki Minaj for being almost like a 6ix9ine figure. Oh, or like a 50 Cent figure back in the day. Oh, you're just starting beef with everyone. You're the problem, right?
Every time we turn around, Demi Lovato. Every time we turn around, it's something, Nicki. You disagree with the decision. You got to talk about the brother like that? And why are we talking about Jay-Z like he's some damn sellout or something? Need I remind y'all, all the hip-hop artists, all the R&B people that have been performing?
Okay, perfect. All right, so that's pretty much what he said about Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj did not take lightly to that. She responded afterwards. Nicki Minaj responds to Stephen A. Smith. She responded by saying, "Oh look, another paid Laffy Taffy alien who only comes off his knees to turn around and back that ass up. Laughing my ass off. Stephen, we don't care. I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't care. If I say more, it'll be your fault. Sit down, ugly." Now, it's kind of, I'll be honest, that's an interesting point she's making, but I also got to call her, we want to be factual here. What Nicki Minaj is alluding to is that Jay-Z, here's why, there's two reasons why what's happening to Drake. And I know you're probably like, first Drake mentioned, stream derailed. No, it's not. It's two reasons why what's happening to Drake could never happen to Jay-Z. First and foremost is the obvious. Jay-Z, his cultural currency, he's kind of been a person who's dictated the culture, never been ever accused of maybe not being from the culture or just not being a product of the culture. Like, Jay-Z is hip-hop, if you get what I mean, right? His life, his plight, his story is synonymous with hip-hop. That's never been questioned, and we all know that. While with Drake, they'd be like, well, his mama is white. Oh, well, he's from Canada. Well, really, is he like cosplaying as an Atlanta nigga? Like, there's been question, right? We're just speaking facts here. So that's the first reason that you can never do what, kind of is happening to Drake now. And, that's an angle that Kendrick really pretty much successfully, kind of put across, and a lot of people have bit into it, right? The second reason why you could never have done that to Jay-Z is that Jay-Z did what most successful people end up doing, who go from the bottom to the top and stay at the top, and then usually break through this. Us as black people, we talk about this, almost this, you can't get through this proverbial ceiling, right? Where they're like, no, they'll keep you down here, but they won't let you into the real room, right? Pac has alluded to, this is always a talking point, right? Where it's like, yeah, you'll be the guy with the shiny chains, but you'll never really be one of them. Who's one of them? The owners who own all the shit. the people who own these record labels, the people who own these streaming services, the people who own these, these ticket and touring companies. Jay-Z has done that. But not only because of his, no matter how much I've said that, he's definitely sometimes co-opted culture, or sometimes, just like he's a businessman. He's a phenomenal businessman. No matter if you claim he, finesse the culture to rock with him or support his ventures, his business moves usually work. But not only that, is that Jay-Z laid a trail of other people who he put in positions. And Nicki Minaj knows this, and the majority of the industry knows this. Jay-Z has left people in positions along the way that, don't you realize Jay-Z don't got to respond to nothing? If you critique Jay-Z, there's like 10 niggas that jump out the window that instantly start backing him up. And if you look at it, they're not just doing it just because of no reason. They usually have some type of financial incentive or some type of tie. They might be managed by Roc Nation. They might be an executive or have some type of venture with him outside here. He might have gave them their first job as an A&R. He might have gave them their first job as a VP of A&R or a VP of this. And in Jay's wake of becoming who he is, there's a ton of those people. Now, it's within music, but also outside of music. Because Jay is not only doing business in music. Clearly, he's doing business with the NFL. Clearly, he's doing business with Square. Clearly, he's doing business with the spirits, like when it comes to like vodka or vodka and cognac and all that. He's a very influential guy. The guy actually had Roc Nation doing sports. The guy is so close. He's done everything. So what Nicki Minaj is alluding to here is that she's feeling, and by the way, we're going to get to Dame Dash making this accusation too. She's feeling that this interception that she's watching Stephen A. Smith do is the product of maybe some association that would benefit Stephen A. Smith. And I don't know about Stephen A. Smith, all of his ventures, this and third. Don't know if he has any association with Jay, but if you listen to his diatribe while he was speaking earlier, he consistently said, Jay's my boy. Jay's my boy. And I don't know Stephen A. Smith to just have friends that have no business incentives. We should all know that. Shit, he worked with Skip Bayless for 15 years or whatever long it was, and then he said, me and him were just partners. Like, he didn't say that's my friend. So when he's saying that Jay-Z is his friend, we have to imagine that there's more. So what Nicki Minaj is basically saying here is, oh, okay, this dude's only coming off his knees to turn around back to that sub, basically saying, hey, we don't care. Well, she's copying like one of his sayings, right? And then saying, if I say more, it's going to be your fault. Basically saying, your defense of him is only going to keep encouraging me to keep going, right? So Stephen A. says that, and Nicki responds initially. Then the next thing happens, right? Ryan Clark, which I'm going to talk about Ryan Clark a little bit later. Guys, you got to remind me to talk about Ryan Clark. By the way, shout out to everybody on the Academy channel. We got like $6,000 over there. How much we got on the main channel? How much we got on, we almost had like $10,000 on King Akademiks. We're going to talk about Ryan Clark in a little bit, but Ryan Clark with the pivot. I spelled it wrong, but here we go. He did an interview with...
Hey, man. Season already crazy, dog.
Steve Stout, okay? And I don't think I have timestamps here, but I wish I did. I should have got them, but if you guys do know the timestamps, let me know. Now, so Steve Stout did the Pivot podcast, okay? And he spoke on not only Jay-Z, he defended him, by the way. Spoiler alert. He spoke on Drake, spoke on the Super Bowl, and he spoke on Nicki Minaj. That's, and by the way, I had to tell y'all all that to get y'all up to. The next thing after I play this, we'll get into Nicki Minaj current date tweets. So let me find where he talks about the Super Bowl, Drake, Jay-Z, and then criticizes Nicki. Here we go.
And you loved all the excitement around it.
You look at the big picture.
Here you go.
You're on
Person, and you know, the comments that were being said and that Nicki spearheaded was
Okay. All right. So basically, so look like they start off hot. Here we go.
we're trying to get you, but now it's my turn.
okay, good.
They went through Jim Crow.
I'm gonna do 1.25.
Hold up. Limited.
The fuck?
Pinning me.
Yo, translation. Scope,
Here we go.
And
300 million viewers around the world. It was confusing to me because Kendrick is an unbelievable performer. It's not like you can knock Kendrick. I mean, I guess that's what some
By the
of
way, I also want to give. I also want to, I know some of y'all might not be familiar with some of these people. Steve Stout is an amazing music mind. Like this guy is up off being smart, lasting as an executive for all these years. He's really smart. Okay, I do have to say that, right? Now, obviously, like any man, like even me, like you could still be smart and have biases, right? But still, he's a really smart guy. Anyway,
the hate that was spewing this week was confusing to me because you can't disrespect Kendrick because you chose Kendrick, and naturally Wayne is hurt. It happens all the time. I've sat there with Jay-Z, the Grammys, he gets nominated for 8 awards and walks away with none. It doesn't feel good. Nobody at that level of success wants to be let down or be told, you're not chosen tonight. But the way Lil Wayne handled it, he's talked about it. He says, man, I was hurt. He admitted it. That's the natural feeling. But then people coming off the top buckle, just starting to say shit like, Jay's a bad person and he has distaste for this person and that person, and the comments that were being said and that Nicki spearheaded I just think it was wrong and way out of line. And I was surprised that she would be that personal with him, given all the doors and opportunities that he's given us all, and specifically her.
But the Wayne angle would be like, even RC said, he's a New Orleans dude. It's Wayne, it's New Orleans, it's the city.
okay, this is not about Wayne today, so we're gonna skip past some of the Wayne rhetoric. We want to hear about Jay-Z, Nicki, Drake. Okay.
This may be some bold performance from him. I mean, let's be honest, man. Don't you think for 1 second we may be slightly spoiled? Jay got into the Super Bowl, halftime performances. You think these hip hop acts would be getting picked at all if it wasn't for him? But why are we not celebrating that? Why are we criticizing the decision when he picked?
Thank you for the timestamp, by the way. Thank you. Who's that? HU2211. Somebody gift that brother a sub. That brother's starving. Gift that brother a sub. Thank you for the timestamp. Gift that brother a sub, man.
Dr. Dre and Snoop and Eminem and 50 and Mary and did that, or put Kendrick on the big stage so that he and Kendrick to have this opportunity, or others that were picked. Why are we not celebrating that idea? That's the part that's confusing to me.
I love that you brought that up. Isn't that the Super Bowl halftime performance that created the expectation that Lil Wayne would perform in this Super Bowl? Because when you mentioned Dre, it was Snoop, and then when we saw that Death Row, that for his decision.
No disrespect. I'm trying to get
to
the show.
Who show is for the city it's taking place in.
Usher in Vegas, right? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, man, the fact that these artists are getting their flowers and are getting their chance to perform on this stage, these black artists, hip hop and R&B artists. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
So how could you come down and criticize this man like that? To me, it's beyond me. I just don't get that logic. And I will confirm, Drake was offered the Super Bowl twice.
Wow.
Drake did turn down the Super Bowl twice. And I'm sure if Drake would have said yes, he would have brought Lil Wayne out at some point, right? He probably would have brought out Nicki, which is probably why she's upset, because she's not on stage. But Drake turned it down twice. So there's like this, the NFL.
I know Steve Stout, chat. You see, I'm gonna find out a little bit more. Actually, I could just ask Drake, but I hate asking Drake because every time I ask Drake a question, somebody asks me like, "Yo, Ak, you're not like flipping on Drake." I'm like, first of all, like this is no sides, but still, like, no. Anytime I say Drake tells me something, y'all think Drake voluntarily made a statement. Like the nigga will answer whatever question I have. So like, I'm now fine. I'm now realizing, you know what? If bro, I stream every day, bro. He doesn't talk every day. So like maybe I should just use other people as sources. I'm gonna ask Steve Stout. He gonna tell me the truth. Because if I ask Drake, he'll tell me, and then y'all be like, "Yo," I seen Ebro say it was like, "Why is Drake commenting about the Super Bowl?" Because somebody asked him. You know what I'm saying?
Felt somebody spoke to no. He turned it down twice, which is fine. He didn't want to do it. But nobody's going to say, damn, why'd you turn it down? You could have got Lil Wayne on. Right? Nobody.
Well, this is also a little bit disingenuous too, right? Like, I heard Wayne talk about possibly, and I could play that clip. Again, we've kind of exhausted the whole Wayne Super Bowl angle. Wayne clearly stated, he said, hey, if I did get the Super Bowl, I probably wouldn't even fuck a guest. Like, this is my moment. Like, I'll probably rap their version, their verses and whatever on whatever song I'm going to perform. So it's clear that Wayne wants to headline a Super Bowl, not just be brought out like, oh, hey, come out and perform a milli, then go back into purgatory, right? He wants that moment, right? And I think he does deserve it, right? Like, this is one of the greatest artists of all time. He does deserve the headline and moment. So that kind of negates a little bit of what Steve Stout is saying, because Drake headline and then bringing out Wayne, it is not Wayne's moment, right?
Nobody's going to connect that dot. The other thing is that no one seems to think about is why isn't Jay-Z picking himself? Like, he's not even being selfish about it for himself.
By the way, somebody told me Albial in the building. Yo, shout out to Albial if you're in the building, brother.
He didn't want to do it. But nobody's going to say, damn, why'd you turn it down? You could have got Lil Wayne on. Right? Nobody's going to connect that dot. The other thing is that no one seems to think about is why isn't Jay-Z picking himself? Like, he's not even being selfish about it for himself.
Now I'll answer that. I mean, the culture supported him being in that position to get the move. Like, this idea that Jay-Z is almost like the rich king that's just saying, here, you peasants, let me give to you. No, Jay-Z used cultural support to get to the room to get this deal. If Jay-Z was seen as, I don't know, name a black entertainer people don't like that. If, like, for example, if Jay-Z was me, like, obviously I'm not as great as Jay-Z, but like, if Jay-Z was 50 Cent, he wouldn't get to that room. Jay-Z wasn't as polarizing as 50 Cent. 50 wouldn't get to that room because when 50 says something, the entire culture doesn't go with it, especially at that time. Jay-Z had the support of the culture. So to act like Jay-Z's just, oh my God, he's just so great, he's giving back. Nigga, no. It's like, when they say you're voting for a black candidate? Yeah, we're voting for the black candidate to do shit for black people. Like, yeah, we gave you the cultural currency for you to get in there to pick the rappers. Yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, this is not you're not gifting us some shit. You don't get there without everybody saying, oh, no, we rock with Jay.
Why isn't somebody saying, man, you know what? He's actually making a decision based off of what he thinks the best performance is at the right time, music, etc., because he's not even using this moment to satisfy himself. He has catalog. He can rock.
Yeah.
He's nice. He's not even choosing himself. To me, that should be celebrated, that he's not being selfish and he's helping these artists and giving them what they deserve and not being selfish about it and choosing only, Rock Nation acts or himself. Because if it was just that, I could understand.
Well, Rihanna, and by the way, this isn't a good point, but I'm making it anyway. Rihanna did perform, like, she popped up, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, but still, yeah, I don't think he's really prioritizing Rock Nation artists. And I mean, honestly, let's think about who's on Rock Nation. The only people who would be able to perform that would deserve that stage would have to be Rihanna. Is J. Cole still on Rock Nation? I guess, right? Yeah. J. Cole couldn't headline. Like, with all due respect to J. Cole, you're not a headliner of the Super Bowl, right? But, like, yeah, I can see you popping out, right? So Rihanna, Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? Which are all Rock Nation, right? And then we have J. Cole. Who else? Who else is on who else is on Rock Nation? Anybody else is like, bro, if I see Meg Thee Stallion popping out, yo, Meg Thee Stallion is supposed to be twerking at Kamala Harris rallies. She's not supposed to be performing at the fucking Super Bowl. Get the fuck on out of here. Right? I can't imagine who else on Rock Nation could even be in a discussion. Now, here's the thing. Like, you could be biased to your people, but you can't just, just like put something that don't make sense. Somebody said Kanye. Kanye is not on Rock Nation. Lil Uzi Vert. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, we love Uzi, but Uzi at the Super Bowl is not a thing, bro. Okay, I love y'all, and I'm not saying maybe at some point it won't be, but if you announce that Uzi's headline the Super Bowl, brother, come on. Keep in mind, you have to realize the Super Bowl is the singular biggest American sporting event where it's going to have the most eyeballs. The average consumer that advertisers are trying to appeal to, they're in their 40s. Lil Uzi Vert appeals to 16-year-olds. I'm not saying all 16-year-olds because, shit, I'm in my 30s and I fuck with his music. But his music doesn't go to 40-year-old white men. You get what I'm saying? So they're not picking him, right? They got to pick an artist that's big enough that 40-year-old white men would know their fucking music. That's just really what it is. And then when you think about Beyonce, yeah, they'll know Single Ladies. They'll know Patio Weave and all that bullshit. You pick Drake, they'll know I Need a One Dance. They'll know Hotline Bling or some shit like that. Beyonce, I said Beyonce already. They'll know Ariana, Work. Like, they'll know a couple songs. You get what I'm saying? Like, but you pick Lil Uzi Vert. What do you think Lil Uzi Vert is going to be like? Like, bruh, come on, bruh. Like, stop it, bruh. That's good on Kai Cenat's stream, not the Super Bowl. With all due respect, I love Kai. Come on, clearly.
It. But for it to come down like this is just, to me, shit is corny. And it makes the hip hop community, the black community.
With all due respect, EXO Tour Life isn't known by one damn 40-year-old white man. And again, we got to think about NFL demographics. We're not thinking about. Uzi could headline every Rolling Loud. He should. He's that nigga. Super Bowl do not try to appeal to Rolling Loud crowd. They're appealing to the white man who's in their 40s with two kids, one 12 and one like 6, and they just spent, like, think about the Super Bowl. Yo, tickets are like 15,000. And we're not talking about like box tickets, like, nigga, just a regular seats in the 200s. You know what I'm saying? Kanye could perform, clearly, but Kanye's not Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? But, like, with all due respect, like, yo, come on, Uzi, like, come on.
It leaves a stain.
I think sometimes we have to consider, thinking outside the box. At the end of the day, like, when I first heard it, I was.
Okay, now let me just fast forward to the Nicki thing that we can get to her tweets, okay?
I was you root him like this is real Chiefs because you get saved for a lot.
Does anyone has the timestamps for Nicki?
The master recording. And I talked about that a
Does anyone have the Nicki title part? I'm trying to play that.
lot when I started. Right, one of the biggest artists ever. And his first album, his former partner owns 1/3 of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, okay, I gotta play this part. So this is where he talks about Dame Dash. Here we go. By the way, Dame Dash responded, so we're gonna get into Dame Dash as well. But anybody got Nicki timestamp? Please let me know.
Loudly, and I was.
By the way, I agree with y'all. With all due respect to Kendrick Lamar, Drake, anybody else, the only living artist that would do the best performance at the Super Bowl is Kanye goddamn West. Was it Kanye Amari West, whatever the fuck his middle name is? Like, come on. Like, bro, come on. Bro, like, first of all, with all due respect, I think Kendrick's going to kill it. But Kanye would make Kendrick like a baby. Like, Kanye and Kendrick artistically aren't on the same level, in my opinion. Like, Kanye, to me, is the greatest hip-hop artist of all time. Kendrick is not. Okay? So, Kanye, like, to me, come on. And just hit for hit, Kanye devours Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, let's be clear. Like, again, I haven't been to, I've been to a few Kendrick shows, not everyone. But bro, Kanye was doing hovering states. He was trying to do a lot. I don't know if we could say Kendrick's performance is better than Kanye. Like, bro, Kanye's like a whole different level. The thing is, Kanye's gonna get at the Super Bowl and say some crazy shit. That's why they're not gonna fuck with him, right? You know what I mean? Anyway. Okay. If anybody has the timestamp for Nicki Minaj, please, Nicki Minaj title, let me know, all right? Let me play this part. Now he's talking about Jay-Z and Dame Dash. We're gonna play Dame Dash's thoughts afterwards, too.
Was talking about it, at the top of my lungs, screaming it. Avoid record companies, be independent, own your shit, it has value. To me, the loudest example of that, that's in plain daylight, is this. Now you got Jay-Z, right, one of the biggest artists ever. And his first album, his former partner owns 1/3 of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dame.
And there's value to it. He's trying to sell it. He's trying to do NFTs with it a couple years ago. So for all artists looking at this, you see how that master is the equivalent of real estate or any other asset that's everlasting. So it's an education that if you own something and master recording, it has the same kind of value.
So he's piggybacking off the Jay-Z and Dame Dash story. I think this is probably a promo for United Masters. United Masters, their whole thing is, we don't want to own your masters. We want to be distribution, and we'll offer other services that we'll do for a set price or maybe a slight percentage, right? That's their thing. But, when you sign to a major label, historically, like, for example, like, I will bet my life savings Drake does not own Take Care Masters. Nobody signs a record deal where you own the masters, unless you have severe leverage, you have crazy leverage now. You get what I'm saying? But Drake signed in 2008 or whatever, fuck them, okay? Now, what's probably happened is that he's probably worked, with every renegotiation, he's like, yo, will I only own 10%? I want 30%, or I want the 20%. Like, you kind of work it off. That's how Universal keeps you from going independent. Like, well, we got the early parts of your catalog. If you sign another deal, we'll give you 20% more. That's how they kind of do it, right? Anyway, so he's talking about it's kind of like a United Masters promo. Hold on.
That you would have if you bought a house that appreciated.
Okay.
Right? Ownership of this. You have friends that you grew up with, man, and
okay, so he's talking about
on the
Dame
Dame
Dash.
side.
Okay, here we go.
You have friends that you grew up with, man, and as you pivoted and as you grew, they couldn't jump the fence anymore. They couldn't jump the next fence. They couldn't go. Right. And it don't look good. It ends bad. This ends really bad. The man's, it's embarrassing, actually. It goes from a point where, like, whatever, ha, 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 rap beef, you didn't make it, you're not that guy, to, like, your teeth is falling out. Yeah. I mean, seriously, your teeth are falling out. You're lying to your teeth and your teeth are falling out. You're trying to create and muster animosity with anybody to create some momentum around some bullshit. You're trying to sell a master and sell a chain with it like people are children. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's shitting on Dame right now.
I want to get the chain for $10 million. Like, are you serious, dog? And then you're running around giving people financial advice like you're the OG. You're not the OG.
Yeah, I mean, it's about.
You can't be giving people bad advice and run around being the OG. Wow. Don't do this. I'm broke because all I do is invest in myself. And no, you're broke because you made bad investments in yourself. Come on.
But he put a bunch of stuff out there, bro, and then even we all watch it. We all hip hop dudes.
Yeah.
What the stuff that Dame says about you that you just have to clear up? Because he said he slapped you over $18,000. He said, I can get a list of stuff that I done heard about it.
No. Not only Dame over $18,000. Dame and I had an altercation, right?
Whoa.
We had two altercations. We were in an office at Sony, not at Sony, at his record, we were in the same building. There was like 10 guys in the room. I was by myself. And we got into an altercation. No doubt. Yelling, fighting, whatever. About 2 years later, I seen him. We were on the same street. And it was him by himself. He had two girls with him. I went to step to him. This man pushed the girl in front of me
What?
and took off running.
Oh, okay. Now I get why Dame Dash responded. Okay. Yeah, he violating. What has Dame ever said about him? I forgot. Dame Dash, Steve Stout. I don't remember that. Wow. Dame Dash, well, let me see. Yeah, that's recent. What is Dame said recent? What has Dame said about him? Anyway, let's keep going.
The girl he pushed in front of me falls
An hour and 4 minutes?
and then
Okay,
sues
gotcha.
me.
Thank you.
The insurance company pays out her just to not even have lawyers. They just write, just approve it, Steve. They don't even tell me. They just settle, whatever it is they settle is, $30,000 or some bullshit for nothing. He pushed the girl faking to fall on the floor, my ankle, all the bullshit. About 5 hours after that, we're at Kanye's party, and the girl walks up to me and tells me, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No." A girl walks up to me and tells me, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No." She says, "I was the girl who sued you. The money that you gave us, we used to settle out in LA, to move out to LA. Thank you."
Wow.
That's his woman now. So we've always had a,
Oh, uh, who's this girl? Oh no. Oh yeah, yeah. There's gonna be some beef. Yeah, there's gonna be some beef right here. Oh, wow. Yeah, niggas start talking about your woman. Yeah, it's on. I don't want no parts of this. This is old nigga beef. I want these niggas gonna start hitting each other with a cane. Like I want no parts. Okay, I want no parts. Okay.
thing with each other. What do you want me to say, man? He's in bad shape. He's been in bad shape for a long time. He's
Hold on,
not
hold on.
tough. I'm not saying I'm tough. I certainly was not running and doing fucking jumping jacks in the street to get the cops to stop. He's in bad shape. Now, to move out to LA, thank you. You gave us, who sued you. I'm like, no. She says, oh.
Wait.
And the girl walks up to me and tells me, you don't remember me? They don't even tell me. They just settle, whatever it is they say, just settles. And then sues me.
Wait.
I seen him. We were on the same street. And it was him by himself. He had two girls with him. I went to step to him.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Old nigga beef, especially when these niggas, yo, bro, these niggas get up and gotta hit the icy hot on the fucking joints. You feel me? Yo, I'm glad. Yo, you know what I've been the most glad about recently, chat. Remember, not 2024, either 2023 or 2022. Remember, I was beefing like crazy. Like Big Ack had to really, yo, these days. Bruv, the only niggas dissing me, they clout chasing. Like, I really got no real ops at this point. Like, I'm just chilling back. Like, niggas know don't play with me. Like, which, by the way, I'm gonna always tell y'all, sometimes you really gotta set an example. That's what I'm saying about Jay Critch. You gotta set an example that niggas stop playing with you. Cause these days, bro, everybody getting in beef but me. Like, yeah, you gotta have a little trash niggas dissing me, but like, bro, like I'm like too up to respond to them. I love watching everybody else beef. I'm watching Elliot beef with a bunch of niggas. Vlad is beefing. Yo, no, Adam beefing with like his former employees. Yo, I'm just like chilling now. I'm like, I'm cooling. I don't got no more ops. Perfect.
This man pushed the girl in front of me and took off running. The girl he pushed in front of me falls and then sues me. The insurance company pays out.
So Jay-Z's quote unquote D writers, you feel me? They go over and speak about the Super Bowl and like all these other things. Honestly, bro, like Jay-Z is Jay-Z. Like that's the only thing you could say about Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z, I'm not saying that he's like Diddy, but you feel me? If there's one person or two people in hip hop, if you say Diddy and you say who do you think like the first name that's comparable to Diddy that comes in mind, it's always Jay-Z. Vice versa. You say Jay-Z, first name that comes to mind because you think of moguls and you think of the black hip hop billionaires. And when you think about that, you always think about Diddy and then you will always think about Jay-Z. And I mean, bro, like, man, Jay-Z better not have anything in the dark that he does not want to come to light. But Jay-Z seems like he's very tapped in. Like how people kept saying that, what's the names in the Illuminati? I think Diddy, he might have been in like a lower part of it. But I think someone like Jay-Z, no social medias. I think the people in the Illuminati, like really, really in the Illuminati, like they're like hidden from the world. And you don't see them. Like you literally only see Jay-Z at like the brunches and stuff when they're taking pictures. You never really hear from him anymore. You don't see anything with Jay-Z, but you just know he makes hundreds of millions of dollars a year. He's a billionaire. No socials basically. And he's just there. Like he basically runs the culture in the background. Like, man, it's crazy. I don't really know. I don't like going too deep into things. But let me know how you guys feel about the whole thing in the comments below. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I am out.